So hello and welcome you all to the next session of Songs of Six. We are going to go through a big expansion today. That at least is the plan, because it's 1,000 people necessary for us to get into administration. And also let's buy ourselves some furniture as one of the first things today. And administration will be the big turning point for the society. Let's hire us some more Dondorian workers. We really want to amp up the numbers in our city now, because this is going to be one of the major things that we're going to work on now. And since this is still the Empire of Dondor, Dondorians first. So we have a wrongful death. Let's check on out our guard posts. So you see that string mesh, which is the safety there. I bet that we don't have enough guard posts in the city. I think we only have 2 so far. Yeah. So our let's see, the safety reaches there. And here we got all this covered. So there's 2 things. For one, for one, we don't have security here in the quarry. This is going to be a crime-spree region, and same goes for this area down here. I mean, to some degree, I find it quite funny that we'll have this kind of criminal area there, especially the mines, but to some degree I also want to do something against that, because this is supposed to be a nice city and not a crime city. Well, let's see what we can do about that after the laboratory has been set up, because I really want more science at this point. I feel like we're way too slow with our scientific progress there. An accident has occurred. I don't give a crap. I'm sorry. Accidents happen. Give this family some financial relief. Hey, Irvin, hi there. It's happy to see you, and it's a pleasure to catch you as well. So, if you are up for games like Songs of Six, I am featuring now a schedule for my streams, and Wednesday is going to be the day where I will stream something for sure, which is out of the colony building or city building genre. Right now, this will be always Songs of Six. This doesn't mean that I won't stream Songs of Six on another day, but it only means that Wednesday right now is Songs of Six day, so to say. Doing my best lately to organize the streams a little bit better, so people don't have to struggle that much to get the content they want. So, let's see. Right now we have 54 workers. I'm afraid that the worst might happen once the laboratory has been done. Go. What's that? Injuries, I see. Bam. Now, 64 people. Nah, we don't have that many. Let's say we're going to put up 24 of these. Oh, it came as an upgraded version. Nice. That's cool. We don't have to upgrade it again. Hey, Chris, there. Hi there. Oh yeah, Vorion. Good chances to see some of Vorion 2 again. Today, maybe? I love the game. I really, really do. So, I feel like it's about time to bring up a hospital by now. Or, no, let's start out with a physician. So, This is entirely new to me, these systems. We haven't had these before. So, a physician. I bet that the physician will be working on out quite comparably, or quite comparable to the other service buildings we already know of. Let's see. I want to make that as a magnificent building. I know, the amount of cut stone is outrageous, but on the other hand, I do like it. Or the Dondorians do like it, you know. So, workbenches for the services. And shelves for the efficiency, I guess. Quality 20%. So we need a stupid amount of shelves again to make that thing work. I see. Yeah, so we're not going to get 100% quality into that shack this way. That's okay though. So probably though we get a little bit like that in there. I really want to have as many patients treatable in there as possible. Okay, so the physician needs tools, which is not a problem at all. The cut stone is a big issue there, but let's just order some from the neighborhood. We're rich enough. Probably should have ordered more. More stone. Poor an eye there. That's really nice of you. Well, Chris, the thing with this game is it gets easier the more you play it. But the first few sessions you're on it, you're going to make a you're going to progress like a snail. I've been there too. And I guess you folks are going to be able to get there faster than me. Oh boy. Here, this is a recipe for disaster again. These guys are going to be trapped. I already know that. So we're going to dig some emergency tunnels for fools. Alrighty, this will now take a while until the tools, no, the cut stone has been done there. Hey, Cold Dead Witch. Hi there. So happy to see you. So, let's see. I'm really curious to find out how the physician, or what the physician will do for the city. This whole healthcare shtick is entirely new to the game, but I do like it. I feel like this adds in a very nice layer into the game. And we have another huge lab running. So I'm totally tempted to save up the tech points now for the next lab upgrade. I think that's something we actually also should do. So here, the next upgrade will be cut stone metal furniture. Oh, it's pretty steep numbers, but whatever. Yeah, I really get you, man. And the best part about Songs of Six is the game is still in early access, and every new version just became better and better. So here we have another scenario of homelessness. Typical. The worker amount is rising, so we have to bring up more apartments. I pretty much expected that, though. This is nothing that comes as a surprise. So here we can add in a handful of extra apartments. There's still a bit of room, and let's say we're going to add in more apartments also here. Why not? I feel like there's still enough room. So let's see what they'll do if I order it to build it into the mountain. Never tried that. And what Songs of Six already extremely, where this game already performs extremely well, even though it is in early access, is the sheer variety the game offers. No map is the same. You will always have a completely and wildly different gameplay experience on every single different map. I love this game for that. I really do. feel like this is such a nice, this is so well done. So take this map here, for example. We have this huge river bank, or, you know, the river should be starting out here somewhere in the mountains. If we would put it into a realistic frame, we would, this would be the spring, because, or the river would flow under the mountain somewhere in the sea, so we cannot, since we don't see into which direction the river is flowing, we have to leave that open to fantasy. But beyond that, this is a nice little secluded vale surrounded by the mountains. And let's see here. And if you look at it, I mean, it even reflects the environment of the map pretty brilliantly. I gotta say, this is pretty impressive. This map generator is impressive to me. One of the most impressive parts of the game so far. Yeah, which I think so too. I had injured people, and but I also assume that doctors also provide happiness to the people. So let's see. Why are the bakers not moving in yet? Are you really saying that these apartments are too far away for you? Come on, you lazy schlubs. It's literally across the street. I feel like that radius feels a little bit iffy. Oh no, it's just a little bit slow. Oh, bridges! Finally! So far, I hated like nothing else that our bridges look like that. Remove water. This is how we build a bridge in 6. Seriously. Bridge building so far. We merely remove the water. And that's how we build bridges, boy. Snow buildup sounds interesting too. I don't know if I really feel like that was something I totally needed, but I'm extremely happy about that bridge building thing, because that's been always something where I was like, yeah, only slightly immersion breaking. Well, let's pick up some Dondorian immigrants and see what we can do. The city itself is damn stable at that point. Well, to be fair, if the water is not too extremely deep, you can actually build bridges like that by just putting more and more dirt on top of that. But, you know, this has its limits. The water will pile up on one end if you do it like that. But that's glad to hear that this is going to be covered in the next version. Alrighty, so what next? Very tempted to get the cotton production going next, because we are at a pretty nice spot with a lot of things. Oh, the physician is in session. Nice. Alright, so let's see. Okay. I guess my people want more physicians. The whole grid here is red. That's not a good sign. So, not going to go for a physician storm now. No. We're going to do this differently. We're going to build a real deal hospital now. Because, let's see, the question for me is, does a hospital provide the same service like the physician? We can check that out, though. So let's see. This has to be somewhere here in the needs. I would be very, very surprised if they'd not be given a damn about the healthcare. So, access and quality the subject group has. So, since healthcare seems to be bundled up, I would say that healthcare is hospital as well as physician. Hard to tell, though. But, well, let's wait for the upgraded laboratories first, let's say. They get her, so the hospital does provide the same job as the physician. I guessed as much, because the canteen provides the same service as the eatery, just better. And I figured that this might be the same system. Yeah, well, I do not watch too many of informational videos or something like that. I'm a total junkie when it comes down to discovering things myself, and quite controversial considering that I make so many tutorials, but it's just like I am, you know? So I literally only watch videos, content videos, if I don't know any further or I'm extremely bored. But if I'm extremely bored, I usually watch some economy podcasts or some astronomy stuff or philosophy. I usually find something. Well, it's just, I love studying, but not about gaming. When it's about gaming, I'm all about discovery myself. I do quench my curiosity somewhere else then, you know. I guess that has something to do because gaming is so much of a job for me. Paulo, hi there. It's awesome. Having a great day so far. I hope you do too. Oh, well, that's great. It's amazing how much development this game is taking in terms of realism. I love what where this game is going. Oh, Star Sector. Another great game that I still have to learn. Probably will get back to that quite soonish even, because I figured that the reason why it was hard for me was my own stubbornness, trying to start the hard way. And somebody experienced with the game told me that I just should start with an easier background, but, well, haven't found time for Star Sector there. But looks like one of these amazing sandbox games that sound like something that I totally would like to play. Well, my mistake there was that I took the start where you start only with your one singular ship and build up your fleet yourself, and I just had no clue about the scope of the game, and I constantly tried to do battle with way too small amounts of ships. So when I tried out the starter backgrounds, I was like, okay, you're supposed to go with that amount of ships early on. Sure thing. I tried way too few. I was like with only a third of the recommended fleet size on the Rome, and well, that pretty much killed me. But I learned a lot during that, so I don't mind. But at the same time, I needed a break from Star Sector after that, and then thousands of other things came up in between, as you can see. Alrighty, so we're at 3,000 science points now. I'm going to amp up the amount of researchers here for good. Let's slap it up all the way to 64. This binds the majority of my workers. I'm well aware of that, but for once, our food stockpiles are massive. And for the other part, the city is stable right now, mostly. We're depleting our grain a little bit right now, but I think the next harvest will be up again, probably quite soon. And more science will benefit the whole city extremely. Yeah, it's a Forex game, definitely. As far as I see, it's the only one real Forex sandbox game you can't play if you don't want a 3D environment, you know. most good Space 4X games nowadays are either games that are more on the empire building scheme, games like Stellaris and Lost Space and those, but there are so few where you have this, I call it mounted banner play style, where you start as nobody and you can go out as the whatever you want at the end. You might even control an entire nation. Games like X4 and Avorion fulfill a similar niche, but they are again a completely different perspective on the game. Well, I prefer to learn Star Sector first without mods, and once I learned the game and grow bored of the vanilla, I mod it up. Usually my approach. Because in general, I always feel like it's way easier to learn a game while it has less content on you. Don't know if that makes sense. So, seriously, the guy working at the lavatory has no place to live at. These guys literally don't have a living room for the toilet boy. My god. Let's change that. More houses. Well, the mods for Songs of Six are something I'm going to touch sometime later down the road. I have it more or less on my list of things that I really want to try out, but I'm not done with the base content yet, you know. So. But that's also me a lot, featuring so much different content warp-wise, so. Come on! Toilet boy needs a home. Give toilet boy a home. The toilet girls, don't know. Don't want to be so gender obsessed, but you get the idea. Okay. Upgrading those roads bit by bit into stone. Well, yeah, Star Sector is definitely a game which would deserve a wider audience, but could it be that those folks are rather slow with developing the game? I feel like Star Sector is one of those games that really does make hell of a slow progress. Which is, in my opinion, not really a bad thing. I personally feel like games get crapped out nowadays way too quickly, and more often than not, games would have been way better if the companies behind that wouldn't have had so much financial pressure to release it as quick as possible. Like it's two guys. Yeah. I hate it. The expectations of gamers nowadays. Sorry if I rub somebody the wrong way, but seriously, it's amazing to me seeing how needy and demanding the gaming scene nowadays has grown, in a bad way. I mean, sure, I do appreciate the standards nowadays, and you see me complaining as well about, for example, ACS, where I feel like the devs could have at least patched out the horrible, horribly nasty bugs they had. Stuff like that is, for me, I know, it's basically good tone. I would call it like that. So let's make a large one here. Nah. If we'd make a large one, then we'd make it back here in the mines. Dislike it a lot that the mining area obviously doesn't benefit from the lighting. Feels bad, man. So now we're spreading out lanterns everywhere. Skyrim ruined the consumer market's expectations. Oh, it's not only about Skyrim. I think this came up with the internet and as a whole, where it's so much easier to provide updated content, updated versions to everybody quite immediately. And, that hasn't been possible way back when. You had to distribute stuff physically most of the time. And that was way more troublesome than nowadays, where you just provide a download and you're donezo. I feel like that definitely has changed also a lot about the expectations of the people. So, how noisy is the life at the pastures? I find that not really realistic. I think pastures would be, I would imagine them very noisy, with all the bleating sheep and the pigs. Well, little do I know. What I do like so far, balancing-wise, though, is that housing only does cost you resource if it is actually used. You can plot down these things, like down here. These empty ones, they don't cost anything. They're just vacant. And they only start costing something as soon as somebody moves in. I like that. Yeah, Paulo, I hate EA too. Early access is a nightmare. But at the same time, in times like these, without early access, we wouldn't be seeing too many games at all out of the indie sector. It's a pickle, On one side, it does it sucks that us customers have turned into beta testers. Beta testers that have to pay to get into the beta testing. That's the worst part about it. I personally think like early access versions would need to be substantially cheaper than the full release versions. But if you did that, the companies couldn't really do much out of the revenue. Then that's a really problematic situation. Oh, you mean the stuff, that stuff? I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. Yeah, I don't know. Games like FIFA and like this is just companies not giving a damn about gamers, having found out what gamers want, and abusing their expectations with a top-notch marketing degree and crapping out licenses year by year by year by year by year by year because they have learned that they are legit printing money with that by just pressing the right buttons of the poor people that love these games. I don't know. This is borderline criminal to me. Because games like FIFA, NBA, and I don't know how they're all called. Come on, every year? BS. There's not enough going on each year to make one full release happen. No. Yeah, indie games have a better quality. Well, indie games have a better quality when it comes down to gameplay fulfillment. That's where indie games are extremely powerful nowadays. But don't get fooled, There's also really crappy indie productions where the people are literally only trying to bait out the money out of your pockets by just running down some crappy software on you. We're going to build up another pasture here because we start running lower in food, as I see here, so it's time to increase the food income again. So one thing I do love about 6 is also it's a damn chill game. It's so damn chill once you understood your way, what you're doing there. It's complex, but you can play it very chill too. Well, the thing there is, when it comes down to the question, why do have indie games the better game quality? It's to me quite a simple answer. When you're indie game dev, you are passionate about what you're doing. You are starting out on a unfavorable position. You are on the losing side, marketing-wise, and yet still you do it. Usually, that's something only people do that are very passionate. And we all know when passion and art come together, something good happens. And that's the thing. I think the AAA companies, they lack exactly that, passion. They their passion is about fulfilling the shareholder expectations. That's the passion of these people. The next passion is the managing guy who gets a much higher bonus payment if he manages to exceed the numbers that he has to fulfill. And these things don't make good games. Quite the opposite, even. Doesn't need much explanation, I think. And there's the big difference. The big companies, they make games to sell them and to earn money with, whereas indie developers, they make also games to live off of it, but they really want to make games. They don't do it because they don't know how to orient their corporation otherwise. And that's that. That's why we suffer from stuff like Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, Blizzard, Activision, by now even Riot Games, which started out also as a pretty cool bunch, but the coolness has evaporated out of their business model as well. It's like once you go too corporate, everything turns to crap you are doing. Sadly. But it's not a big surprise, I mean. Grinding gear games, oh yeah. Honorable mention, or dishonorable mention, I should rather say. I personally consider Chris Wilson as one of the biggest douches out there in the gaming industry. Seriously. Shout out to Chris Wilson for being the biggest, one of the biggest, I can't put it out loud here on my stream out there. So, seriously, I never liked that Chris Wilson guy too much, but it's like, yeah. I read a little bit about the reasoning behind the devs put up, considering the changes on Path of Exile, and I was like, am I really reading this right? Are you guys serious? Yeah, the problem with grinding gear games is quite simple. They seem to have nothing but contempt for their gamers. They're like, oh, these guys, they're breaking my sacred game. They're having fun in a way with it which I don't approve. We have to stop, make it stop. And at the same moment, that feels like one of the most foolish things to do. Yeah, I merely read some Steam reviews and a little bit of the background in relationship to that. I didn't need to read much to know where it all came from. Yeah, it's just like a tiny clique of players is playing the game in a way we disapprove, so we have to change the way the game works for 95% of the rest of the players, which will suffer tremendously from that change. What the hell? Like, seriously, how can you do that to a game which is in its core a MMORPG? They somehow have forgotten that in its core, Path of Exile is still a MMORPG, if you want to say so. But still, it's massive, and it's multiplayer, and it's online. It fulfills all the qualifications, and balancing the game in a way that, or being shocked when people that group up together grow very effective, so immature, and so. Oh well. I don't think I need to say much about that anymore. Let's instead set up a cotton farm. So let's place down one huge guy like that there. and then we're going to set up a weaver. So, show me where does the wild cotton grow. Or, you know what, I'm a lazy schlob. We're going to import that. Gimme, gimme. Yeah, which the Valheim. Valheim is a title I'm genuinely looking forward to. I'm merely not playing it because it ain't done yet. And Valheim is one of those games where I feel like once you've went through the entirety of the content once, I'm afraid that there will be not that much more behind it. It's one of those games where you play it through and then you're done with it. So I'm waiting for it to be done. But yeah, I totally agree with you. It's a great title. It's a great, great title. Has a lot of love in it and a lot of how to put it, passion. Passion, yeah, that's the word. I gotta say, Coffee Stain Games is one publisher that keeps surprising me with well-made content, with passionate with content that's made with passion. Even Satisfactory, which has turned into one of the most popular factory games, is still not well. It doesn't feel like the typical AAA malaise. If you know what I want to say with that. So now we are going to unlock the Weaver and the fine clothing tech, so we can process that stuff into clothing as well. It's gonna take a while, but hey, Gathimi, go to war. I have to do that too, man. Some point, at least. Still so many things that I want to try out. My wife was already playing a Tilapi Society. Also good fun. Or wasn't she playing Garthimi? I don't know. I can't remember anymore. I'm also honestly genuinely sad about the passing away of Path of Exile. Because it was one really promising title, not gonna lie. I really gotta say, I've been quite shocked to see how the game got dismantled there. But, well, I did realize this form of contempt towards the players since a longer period of time, so to say. It didn't come as a big surprise to see what I saw there, you know, what I'm trying to say. So we got a dwindling stone stockpile. Let's do a thing, and that's quite simple. Mining tech. Mining tech, mining tech. Where are you? Mining here. Stone mine bonus. Let's have 5. Yeah, seriously, 5. We require so much stone in total here that I feel like it's a great idea to stock up on that. Well, Grim Dawn is awesome, but Grim Dawn also has some limitations. Like, I gotta say, as much as I love Grim Dawn, it does not offer enough procedural generated content for my taste. That's what I loved Grim Dawn for. The whole mapping system and all was outright awesome, and that's going to be hard to be replaced. And Grim Dawn's procedural content is like, yeah, not that exhilarating to me. Alright, we got a lot of cotton farmers, but now we're also going to have a lot of weavers. Yeah. So let's set up the weaver's shop. As much as I would want to build it out of fine stone, I don't see that happen. So let's see if I put it down like that. Alrighty, I know that these looms grow huge, but working as intended. Yeah, well, whatever. So that's enough for 30 weavers. And a bit of a storage there. Okay. Big project, but it's also going to help the city a lot. Yeah, combat in this game is still not really, I think, working out as I like it to. Ooh, nice there, Omen Gaming. 2,700, that's a respectable number. Alrighty, so let's reserve some room here. Oh, I'm already way ahead of myself. The only thing I haven't put up yet is clothing storage there. So a heavy case of homelessness is occurring. I bet that's all the cotton farmers. Yep. Not a big surprise either. So let's have that next apartment block here. And let's put that right next to the warehouses. Humans and Crotonians go well together, yeah. Crotonians are in general real team players that are easily put together with lots of species. At least that's been my experience so far. So let's expand on our stone road here. Of course, stone now is at a all-time low because we have that huge weaver construction going on there. I feel like once you've gotten behind the general hang of the game, getting into higher population numbers is not that hard anymore. The best part is even that you get these achievements that allow you getting into that give you some bonus population and stuff at the beginning. Really useful. I like that. This made the whole entry stage of the game a lot less sluggish, and I feel like it's a great reward for knowing what you're doing. Speaking about rewards, our dudes here could be needing some rewards there. So okay, let's see. We are unhappy because our food day storage is going lower. Well, I always had the assumption, or I always had the feeling as if I didn't need to go too crazy with the happiness. At some point, the happiness is almost always overcapped, as long as I don't grow like a madman. So as soon as we have elder care, I'm going to give those folks also some retirement home place. But we're not there yet. We are not there yet. So, yeah, lavatories are on a bad spot. And, well, stages. I'll change something about that. Yeah, this game is a really, really great thing for strategy gamers. You're right about that. Alright, let's build a place to poop. Oh, wait a sec. We should always, before you place down something like a lavatory, always click one of yours and check out where the most unhappiness is there. But like I thought, here you see a lot of red. The red mesh grid tells you where the service is unfulfilled. I bet that here we have some issues too, exactly. And let's see. There's also not enough option to go for a shit in the markets. Alright. Let's change that. So here we're just going to slap that thing into right next to the warehouse. And when it comes down to the mountain here, I think we have to build something manually. Because, you know, mountain rooms, you can't really copy-paste anything in there. So we're going to go for a little bit of a mountain dig. Something like that. And that's going to be our lavatory. I feel like lavatory and bathhouse can live next door to each other. Yeah, the you can start out so much faster if you have those achievements. And the whole happiness minigame becomes a lot easier the more often you play the game. I found it the most confusing when I started out, because it totally overwhelmed me. But after I got behind that, it really wasn't that hard anymore. So you see there, our food is quite massively depleting. So what we're going to do here, I've been prepared for that. So let's go for fishery methods and husbandry methods. There we go. Let's see how much bump up in terms of production that'll do. Probably gonna be that's already been all we needed there, but let's try it. I mean, there's always a slight bump down right before the grain harvest. It's only natural. But we do have enough bread on the stockpiles, though. I don't know, Ivanov. That pretty much sounds like a bug to me, honestly. The overlay about services? You mean like the thing I did just with the lavatory? Yeah, I don't know. It's once I discovered that, I was feeling like Einstein, you know. It's one of these things though where I feel like the game could really just tell you that. I was like literally staring at these mesh grids for about a year, not getting what they are supposed to tell me. You know? Luckily some other genius came by and told me how to understand the homelessness overlay. Because I didn't understand that either in the first place. But it's extremely valuable to find out where you have to put up your housing next. So let's see. Did the science bump ups already increase the food production enough or not? So with the new lavatories, I hope the happiness in the city will rise again. It's just sad that that for stuff like stages, you don't get a good readout. I really, really hope that this will change. You only have that notion that, you see here, they are unhappy with the amount of stages, but you can't really have a readout where the stages are actually necessary. I like that not so much. Yeah, the homelessness thing I learned out of comment. Some guy explained that to me because I was literally clueless. But gotta say, the comment section is my personal tutorial go-to tool. That's where I get the best tutorials from. Can only recommend. So let's build a lavatory manually. The lavatory in the mountains. Poop like a troll. Okay. Amount or quality? I can't quite follow you, Brian. Sorry. Yeah, I do try my best to spread information as fast as I can. Because it's always annoying me when games are awesome and people can't really understand how they're supposed to be played. Okay, so lavatories. That should provide some relief. Unintended. At the same time, we have way too many building projects running right now. But at least the Weaver is finally constructed. That's great. Also noticed that we're finally starting to rack up a decent amount of cut stone. So, for the Weaver, we're going to roll with auto-employ for now. Because, I don't think that I'll have enough material to work with for now. So, the farm should be providing its first harvest soon as well. The new service buildings are kicking into gear as well. Great. So, oh, we are at minus workers, so let's just pick up a couple of extra human workers. So, the food situation didn't really get better. How dare they? I mean, I already do understand it partially. A new pasture is never producing that fast, although these guys here are going in quite quickly. Well, but I'm frankly surprised that the technological advances didn't get in that much difference. Tell you what, we're going to give our dudes in the agricultural department a bit better tools. So let's see. Here. Let's tool up the pastures and the fisheries. That should do something, I hope. Yeah, the 10,000 citizen achievement is massive, that's true. I gotta say, I've never played too deep into that whole thing. I think I stopped always at the Lord or something like that. Mostly because you know, that's me with early access games. I don't like to overplay them like crazy because I don't want to burn myself out before they're done. Okay, so let's bring up some more streets. And then on the other hand, on my side, I always have a problem with the time too. There's just so much stuff that I want to cover. Making it quite difficult to provide coverage for everything out there. Okay, street. I love it that streets make my people happy. A case of homelessness has occurred. Oh, a mystery homeless person again. I mean, there's homes around everywhere. Okay, here it goes. Ah, one swineherd has no living place. Let's change that. I'm a little bit concerned about my food situation there, to be honest. You know what? We're going to teach our bakers also to bake better. And let's teach our farmers to farm better. And hopefully everything will then be better. Whoa, science, come back. We had a slight case of depletion there. So, do I have all the necessary materials on stockpile? The answer is yes, I do. Nice. Alrighty. And the other lab, we're able to upgrade that as well. Nice. Alright. I think we should have now a much larger amount of science points available for us. So, is it finally the first cotton harvest? Yeah? Wow. Took us a while, eh? So, I see a slight trend to the betterment of our food situation there. So we can slap up another pasture over there. And there's a tad bit more farmland here. But you already noticed that we're slowly depleting our building ground. It's one problem if you have such a massive mountain map. I also foresee that we might need to move our part of our infrastructures into the mountain, because I maybe want to use the green meadows. Diseases, not cool. But as you see there, we also rack up a lot of science now. So the library will require 8,000 science points. Now let's see how many science points do we rack up. Because, you know, I don't necessarily want to build another lab. But I felt like these technologies were damn necessary. Okay, we are now producing fabric. Hooray! Now, where's my tailor? Dude, where's my tailor? Infrastructure work here. Doesn't show me where the tailors are at. No. Okay, let's zoom out. At least we have this tool now here. There's the tailor's shop. I only have this one tailor's shop. Okay. Then, first off, we're changing up the recipe. Second off, we're slapping up a huge new workbench there. Or 2 of them. Or 3 of them. There we go. Bit of extra auxiliaries there. Extra clothing will make quite the difference, and once we get towards the military stuff, we totally will need some extra clothing. A lot of other stuff too, but clothing is one of the articles we need there. So let's pick up a huge new pack of human settlers. And, well, how much workforce is necessary for one of these? Quite a lot, isn't it? So let's see. I'm now withholding my citizens and checking out if I can expand otherwise, or if I need to use the new workforce for food production, because we seem to be a little bit on a problematic point there. So I could either produce more fish up here, or up here, Alternatively, we could also increase our grain production. That bakery is not even remotely at its maximum capacity. You know what? I feel like that's actually one thing that sounds damn appealing to me. So let's set up another grain farm here. Because that will cost me a lot of workforce, yes. But at the same time, I feel like that's one of the most foolproof ways to get us some really nice nice amount of extra food. And maybe we can use the extra grain also for the alcohol production. I mean, right now, the goal, why I called this episode today The Big Leap, is that I really want to get as quick as possible to the 1,000 population mark. But that ain't easy. That ain't easy, I know that. We don't want to collapse on that. So I'm playing it safe. Okay, so I dare to switch on the auto-employment on the bakery there. There's something I do like about that. The auto-employment does a very good job at managing how many workers are actually necessary to process the given amount of goods. Something I cannot do as well as a human. Because you have a constant fluctuation of the goods that you're producing, and that's where I really like to rely on the AI calculations a bit. Okay, big grain farm. I have forgotten one thing though. We gotta dig a irrigation canal. Otherwise, our farmers are not happy. Okay. How happy are they because of the roads, actually? So 70% road happiness, 72% road happiness. You see, in their understanding, this place still doesn't have enough roads. Hard to believe, I think. They could be Germans. Give me some more roads, but for Germans they would need to have cars too. Okay. So let's see how that new grain farm will play out for us. I bet quite good. Also, let's check out the exports of the leather. We are now producing way more leather than we're actually using, so I'm increasing the exports quite a bit. That leather does all come from my pastures, so we can't just sell off that overproduction. You know what? We're even going to sell off for now, like 80% of my production. Why? Because I'm not really using any of the leather so far. It's totally okay, and it'll give him a nice penny. We're raising those animals for not for the leather, but just for the meat. So let's get rich by that. Why not? Certainly won't hurt us. So, the first grain comes in from this farm. So this cotton farm here does provide a very, very meager amount of cotton, gotta say. And if you ask my weavers and my tailors, it ain't enough. But I wouldn't listen to these guys too much if I were you. They always want more. So, let's go for the library. This building will not serve you well if you don't already have a lot of running laboratories. What do you mean, game, with a lot of running laboratories? Is a lot of running laboratories more than 128 scientists or less? What is a lot? Tell me. I bet they won't. So, 574 on this field, 2,000 on that field. Wonder how that came together. I guess we better wait a year in that regard. And I feel as if the auto employee here is letting me down a bit, but we'll see about that. So I probably feel like I should bring in another laboratory, but at the same time I feel like, no, I really got enough by now. I also have the 8,000 technology necessary for that, but I don't have the necessary 900 extra for the paper making as well. So, really, not that sure how to proceed with that. Also, it's clearly visible that technology-wise we are just oh so slightly over the 8,000, and it doesn't really. Oh well, okay. Yeah, well, it doesn't really exceed the 8,000 for real. We're swinging between 8.2 and 8.4K. Not really the point where I would set up the libraries, especially since I don't know how it is here, but the libraries were pretty crappy without paper in the past version. Pretty crappy. So we see here there's more and more bakers getting allocated into the bakery here. So we slowly increase our food production, but it does look like we're now on the rising side again. So yeah, another lab. I don't know. It's a really tough one for me. Maybe I'll build a small lab here, amping up the production a little bit more. Let's do that. At this small lab, we are researching schools. And let's make that out of fine stone already. I want that cut stone more and more prevalent in my city, because I know that the Dondorians will love the city the more cut stone there is in it. So we're going to fill this place yet again, of course, because I learned that if the place ain't filled, you'll be regretting that once you upgrade them. So 55 workers. Come on. That's not really smaller than the stuff that I built before. Whatever. Let's just keep going. Worst case scenario, we're just going to raise that building again and build something else there. I have a hard time seeing how many more of these guys I'll need, and what the oh yeah, let's do the masonry too. And how much power the libraries will provide, as a matter of fact. I simply have no clue. Alright, so 20 stonecutters will be able to work here. Just realized that my stone stockpiles are right now overfilled, so by all means, produce more cut stone, you folks. We surely don't have enough of that. Yeah, schools don't work for Dondorians, yeah. Because you cannot grow Dondorian children. The Dondorian emerges out of the mountain as a full-grown Dondorian. There is no child Dondorian.
Really?
Yeah. You cannot breed Dondorians.
I never tried.
You never tried.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so... But you see there, the science production didn't really get any further there. So it was a wise decision to do this like that. And the lab has been is frozen. There we go. Sometimes your citizens just forget that they need to put resources into the building site. That happens. Just click it once and remind them kindly that they are supposed to build something. You can also shout at them if you'd really like to, but... I prefer to be kind to my subjects. Alrighty, so more roads. No, the Dondorians don't even have a, where is it at? No, that's the wrong one. Civics. There's Crotonian breeders, Garthemi hatcheries, human nurseries, and Talapi nurseries, but the Dondorians, no. You just, you can only get them via migration too. Alright. Minus 20 workers. I think my lab is done. Yep. So we're going to run this with 20 brainiacs. Alright, try it like that. Do the upgrades. And then I have the necessary tech amount to transition smoothly into the library age, you know. Gives me a way better feeling than doing this rash. Okay, so let's see. We got... Well, let's house the need of bathhouses, like I thought. The stinking farmers over here want a bath. But there's also a lot of deficiency here for a bathhouse. There's also a lot of need. I think up here we have one already. But, you want a bathhouse. You want a bathhouse. Everybody wants a bathhouse. Yeah, I do understand that. They're nice and cozy. We burn coals to make the water warm. So... Oopsie. Let's copy one of these. And... let's provide some spa feeling. Bathhouses are among my favorites. They are quite low cost, as soon as you have the resources for them, that is. And they provide a massive boost in terms of happiness. People are so much happier with the bathhouses in their vicinities. Pretty cool. Hey, Patrick, hi there. So happy to see you. We're sadly almost at the end of this first stream of today. I'm not sure what I'm going to stream afterwards today. I only know that I will stream something afterwards. But I do already notice that how my brain is at the point of exploding. Whenever I play Songs of Six more than for a longer period than an hour while streaming it, game grows really, really exhausting on me. Might have something to do with the slight level of complexity the game has. So let's buy ourselves some extra gemstones just for the stockpiles. Stockpiles are running low. I have buildings that must be repaired with gemstone, and that's one stupid thing about your janitors. Oh, we need armor. If there's one good missing to repair the buildings in the vicinity, so most of the times my janitors stop working completely. Maybe that's the reason why I have so much degradation here. See those red dots in between? Maybe that's why. Because I actually do have enough janitorial force in my colony city. So yeah, this thing really does only produce 500 cotton per year. Outrageous. Such a huge field, such little output. These grain farms, they at least produce 2,000 grain per year. So, are you kidding me? Come on AI, what are you doing there? So we have a capacity for 40 employees here. We don't get enough. We don't get all the bread, all the grains processed. Why is it reducing the amount of workers from 25 to 21 then? I was trusting you, AI. I won't. Again. For now. Alrighty. I also noticed that our wood stockpiles are lowering a bit. Let's see. The woodcutter's place up here is sadly already fully staffed out. We're going to go for some advanced forestry tech here. And let's unlock the library and the paper maker at the same time. Not gonna put that up today though. Yeah, these city manager games, they grow quite exhausting after a while. That's true. For me, it's mostly though about the fact that streaming is a lot more exhausting than you would think from the outside. This whole talking and gaming thing looks a lot easier than it actually is. So let's do the noise meter. As we see here, the workshops are producing noise, but we can't bring up the housing here into the vicinity. I find it quite weird that the citizens don't have any problems with living right next to a farm or right next to a pasture, because I personally would think that a pasture stinks pretty nasty. With a farm, okay, I can relate, but well, you think it has something to do with the preferred work types, Patrick? I have configured my folks to work according to their passions. Okay, we have a huge influx of people wanting to join the city. I bet the bathhouses have been finished. Yep. So, what's outright amazing to me is we have 2 bathhouses right next to each other here, and they're not fulfilling the needs of the town center here so far. I think I have 2 small bathhouses. That might be the case. Oh well. We might sneak in one here inside the mountain, hey? How about that? Like the idea of that. That's one really nice part about the city, that whenever I run out of space, there's always surprise mountain space. Okay. Let's make that nice and large. Well, oh man. Well, as long as the audience numbers are that low, I'll have no problem responding to the audience, and I really appreciate that. But at some point, We will reach a volume where it's getting hotter and hotter, and we might need more moderation in the future. Although I personally would prefer to just be that multitasking capable, but that's just not realistic, of course. So here I love this whole street paving thing, where the walkways of the people create roads where they go. I like that. Always gives you a idea where you need to build the roads. And alright, so I'd say that's that for this session. I thank you so much for the good company, everybody. We're going to continue next time. Like I mentioned, we have now a schedule where there's a recurring genre. Games like Songs of Six and RimWorld and the like will be featured on Wednesday. I'll do an official announcement in the future too, don't you worry. But if you want to stay posted, check out my Discord and the Twitter. Both links you will find in the description box. Also, leave me a comment, a thumbs up, or a subscription if you haven't done so already. These help me a ton. And if you want to be even more of help, then check out Patreon and PayPal. These are the ways of making me extremely happy. But don't you worry, I'm also really grateful for you watching all this ad roll. And yeah, hope you comment by next time, and have a good one, you all.